Wait.
You have been pouring that beer for like 30 seconds. I hope she gets it.
It's really, really tense moment. Is she gonna pour it into?
That's awesome.
I'm just being my good British self with my
Awesome.
pint of cider.
Cider. But
Cider,
cider is
yeah.
alcoholic, right?
It is. In
It's an alcoholic
England,
beverage. All
it is
right.
an alcoholic beverage.
That's a
Yes.
huge can. Or, oh my God.
It's a normal sized can.
Oh, really? Maybe it's just a perspective, but it looks like if
Yeah.
I would hold this can would be like
Wow.
the size of my torso or something like
It's
this.
bigger than Izzy.
That's bigger than Izzy. Nothing is bigger
Prost.
than Izzy. Nothing is bigger.
Nothing's bigger than
Roast.
Izzy.
I'm
Cheers to
roasting
that.
with Fritz Cola.
Nice.
As you can see, I'm in the office and I got my car with me,
Beautiful.
so obviously I'm not drinking anything.
Very responsible. That's good.
Of course. And yeah, we actually had our big our big company update again, what we do every
Yes.
month, basically sharing everything about the company, all the numbers, everything. And we also get an awesome breakfast for our company update. So always the newbies are always making this awesome breakfast, and it was a feast. It was awesome. So it was really worth it.
Amazing.
Going
They're always so good. Like it's
Yeah.
not just sort of some pretzels and some bread and Philadelphia. They go all out to these newbies. I love it.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
a rite of passage.
Although
Get it?
I ate a pretzel and bread with Philadelphia, so maybe you're just mocking my breakfast
No,
behavior here,
but there's so much more to it than that. And they do it in such a good way. You know,
yeah,
it's always
absolutely.
the best. We love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
TGIF, says Leah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, I gotta.
Thank Google, it's Friday.
Yeah, thank Google.
Woo.
It's Friday. Awesome. And also
Cheers.
Mariano is here. Hey, Mariano. Great you're watching. Mariano is
Mariano.
watching at YouTube. So
It's been so long. Cheers.
just so obviously you can watch us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. There's something wrong with Twitter today, right?
Apparently, it's Twitter's fault. It's not our fault. So
But
let's
my
see if it
colleagues are getting
works.
some coffee here, so it's all right. No, it's all right.
Hey, Moritz. Good. Oh, it's Yulia. It's Andrea.
And look at Andrea. He's
Amazing.
like, look at that hair.
I know. He looks so cool.
So by the way, is Twitter working? Do you know?
I don't think so. If it doesn't, then we'll just go ahead on YouTube and LinkedIn. I don't see any stream on Twitter at the moment, so maybe it's not working.
No, I don't see it either. Whatever.
Oh well.
So I mean, like if you're
That
not,
loss.
you realize you can't watch us there, and if you're watching us, you already solved the problem. So congrats.
Yes. Yes.
So if you're watching, it would be very nice. Give us a quick shout out. Let us please say hi real quick. We really love hearing from the people because we were just talking into a computer, so it's always nice to actually see there's somebody at the other side actually listening to all of this. So yeah, if you get the chance, just like leave us a quick remark. It would be very nice. Yeah, and a lot of stuff happened. It was an exciting week again. I'm like always like, oh my God, what should you talk about? And then the week comes and it's just total craziness. So much stuff going on. Just the latest with Google now introducing endless scrolling for mobile yesterday. And all of a sudden, everybody's on page 1, right? I mean, like, you've done your job. You can go home now, early weekend, because everybody is on page 1 now.
All of the dad jokes are coming out. All of them. Like, haha, I will get everyone to rank on page 1 on Google. Haha.
Well done.
Or the old one doesn't work anymore. Like, what is the best place to hide a dead body on page 2 of the search results?
Yeah, apparently not anymore.
Not anymore.
Do that, right? So don't start hiding stuff on page 2. That's not going to work anymore.
Yes. So
sorry. Yeah.
Go on. I was just gonna say it's.
I was just thinking, do you
about,
also have it in your presentation? So we're gonna.
I do.
Oh, perfect. So we can just
I have it at the end.
Talk about it. Awesome.
You already spoiled the dramatic ending
that
that everyone knew.
Yeah, I was just like, congrats to all the SEOs. You all made it to page 1 for any keyword.
Finally.
Awesome.
Without backlinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or with backlinks. Yes, Benny. Hey, Benny.
Hey, Benjamin.
Cheers.
So
Yes.
Benjamin's asking, we're talking about continuous growth. That's it.
That's it.
I mean, this
But we have a
definitely
lot.
rounds
Yeah.
in the SEO scene.
Yes, but we have a lot more to talk about as well. So
Yes.
shall I share my slides that
Fire
I
it up.
crafted with care? How do I do this? I do this every week, but I already forgot.
You're welcome, Benjamin. And thanks for the shout out. By the
Yay.
way, if anyone is watching on Facebook, be smart as Benjamin. Watch us on Facebook.
Yes, or YouTube or LinkedIn. Yes.
Apparently
Cool.
not Twitter, which I like. I don't have to go to Twitter. The cesspool that is Twitter.
Oh,
yeah,
it's okay.
Oh,
it's
by the
where
way,
I can share my memes. Yep.
While I just saw the logo, we even did not even do our, like, hey, welcome to 3 out of a kind. So, but I mean, like, if you're still listening, you probably know what is this.
That's true.
But I'm like, oh my God, we have to keep like a certain structure. We're so unprofessional. This is crazy. We can never build up a brand like this if we, just fail the basics, right? we really got to do better. But I mean, like, truth be told, and I think it's the same for you. I mean, like, I was like deep down in work until like 2 minutes before the show, and I'm like, damn it.
Oh, we have a show now. Let's go.
So please excuse our unprofessionality, if that's even a word.
It is now.
And we will try to do better next time. Yeah. So let's spill the tea, Izzy.
Let's spill the tea. So one really exciting thing that I'm looking forward to that you're involved with is one of our amazing upcoming webinars. We do so many webinars, right? We do a lot, but this one is going to be extra special because it's with the great Mike King and you. And you as well,
and me, but it's really about him. So I'm more the moderator here, and I happily stay back because he's got so much stuff to tell. I mean, like, you all know him, right? And what I love about him is not just one of the most competent technical SEOs. He's also a rapper, and he actually went on tour, and he's now applying the same techniques, the same strategies he's been using for his company for SEO, and he's now using this basically to push his music. And so this is a really cool approach, and there's so many interesting tidbits. And I'm gonna ask him everything, and this is gonna be really cool. And right now, this shapes up to be like one of the best webinars, at least for this year. I mean, like, we always got a several hundred for each one of our webinars, but here we already have so many already, although it's happening next month.
It's wild.
So you should definitely jump in. Here's the link. Register for the webinar. This is going to be a lot of fun. And if we get over, let's say, 500 people, I'm throwing in a technical SEO rap battle. I mean, like, he can rap, but I really got to come up with something, and gonna rap battling Mike King. So sign up. I
want to see this.
It's going to be worth it. I mean, from you, not from me, obviously. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
this
is going to be. It's going to be really special. It's either going to be embarrassing for you and amazing for the audience.
Absolutely.
Or just a general, like, mind-blowing experience. So very cool. And it's great how versatile Mike really is. Like, I was really inspired by a lot of his technical SEO experiments, and now we're moving more towards like content strategy. But he's also an amazing rapper. He has his own agency. He's a dad. Wow, he's awesome. Hey, Christopher.
Hey, Christopher.
Thank Google it's Friday.
Yeah, thank Google it's Friday.
That's happening a lot today.
Thanks Google it's Friday. Never heard that. I love it.
I just started it. Hey, Google, if you want this name for your Friday podcast, go for it. But don't clash with our show, okay? Cool. So make sure to sign up for this. What's going on in the news? This is interesting. So I'm excited to hear your take on it. But what I basically get the idea of is that WordPress or people in the community, WordPress's community, are rallying to get an actual performance team. So you don't need to rely on plugins and third-party tools to improve your page performance, right?
I mean, like, hopefully not all third-party tools. I mean, like, there's still always a space for right in that, right? But
no, I meant in WordPress. Yeah,
actually, that initiative was going on from Yoast or the Yoast team. And I really love this. And this is like always, I think, what I always think is a big plus for using the Yoast SEO plugin, that you basically have a team of some of the most talented developers, you know, like Jono and his crew. And they're basically making your site better without you having to do anything, right? Because they're really like, trying to make the whole framework, everything, so to speak, faster, and also in that case, also your site. And so this is what I really like about using the Yoast SEO plugin, that it gets better and better without you doing anything. It's like Tesla, you know, like in the night they will upload a software plugin, a software update, and in the morning you basically have a better Tesla because they integrated new features or whatever. And I think this is sort of like the same logic, and this is what I really like. And they are even going further now. So not just caring about how can we speed up Yoast and all the procedures in there, but the whole WordPress ecosystem itself. And this is why they've been proposing to have a real performance team, and really not just having this as a side job, as a hobby project or whatever, but like a really consolidated effort to make WordPress the fastest, the lightest it could possibly be, and therefore lift the whole ecosystem. And we know it's about 1/3 of our websites are running WordPress, right? So you would see the enormous effect this something like this could have on the whole internet. And also for, you know, what we are advocating, you know, they're really our fight for making the internet climate neutral, with
Yes.
1/3 of the websites being all of a sudden faster, right? This will also have a gigantic impact on the whole CO2 footprint of the internet. So I really love this initiative, and especially Yoast taking the initiative here, if I'm correct. That's really great stuff, and I think great news for all WordPress users.
It's really cool. I'm surprised that nothing like this was in place before.
I think it wasn't like really this, like really having a team which is like really 100% focused on this. So it hasn't been happening, but this was like in like they worked on something, and then they also, you know, try to speed it up and stuff like this. But this is now really about making this the most performant system. And by the way, Christopher's jumping in here and say, hey, don't forget Joomla and the nice improvements done, right? And I think you also see this in here, right? There's this nice data studio where you can actually see the different CMSs, online shop systems, and how they fare in regards to core web vitals, and also how this has changed. And we can definitely see also Shopify going like this, with Luke, Kevin, and the whole team like really giving their best to speed it up. But again, as Christopher said, Joomla is doing the same thing. So nice job, and head tip to Joomla as well here.
Which one is Duda, by the way? I heard this name a few times recently.
Yeah, because Andrew Schulte, he came from SEMrush. You know, he was doing all these videos for SEMrush.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome job. You know, he was like everywhere. And now he went to Duda. And this is also a website builder, Wix kind of thing, as far as I understand. I have no practical experience with Duda, but just Anton going there really made a lot of buzz. I'm waiting for the buzz.
Is the buzz still running?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sometimes I run with the TH with my
that's okay.
With my you know what.
I feel mean having such a name when I live in Germany. Izzy Smith.
Izzy Smith, yeah.
Yeah, people just call it Izzy Smith. I'm okay with that. Smith.
All right.
Smith.
Yeah, but still, I mean, like Schmidt is also a very, very common name. I mean, it's the same
Yeah,
Schmidt, right? Also, it's the same thing.
it's
And
all fine.
yeah, absolutely.
They can call me Susan if that means I don't need to learn German.
Okay, Susan. Right on. So,
Okay,
Susan, what do we have next?
what do we have next?
Oh, I love this. I love this quote from John.
It's a
I mean, like,
cool
John has
quote.
one-liners, and they're just
I
so spot
know.
on. And I think this is
Yeah.
one. You remember when he was saying, "Hey, what's the most important ranking factor?" And he awesomes, right? And this is like one tweet, and in this case, even one word said it all. And this is again like a very short tweet, but it says like a lot about SEO. SEO is all about not requiring search engines to read your mind, right? And I love this, right? That you really make it easy for search engines to really understand what
That's what it's
you're
all
getting
about. Yeah.
at. Yeah, and this is it. So I love this that John is coming up with these awesome one-liners. By the way, hi Susanne, great you're
Hi,
watching.
Susanna. I love this quote. I feel like sometimes John has a sort of team of writers sitting next to him who are all thinking, what is the best response we can give here that is informative yet a bit funny and sassy at the same time? And then bam. He's so fast. He should be a comedian.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And do you really think that is people like feeding him this kind of stuff that he's not?
No, it was a joke, but that could be because just of how good they are.
But actually, this is what I did. I actually had for my SEO com keynotes for several years. I had a gag writer who was actually writing gags also for Heute Show, which is like a very popular
Today Show,
political format. And I actually had this guy, so I was sending him over stuff I would talk about, and I would send him over like newspaper articles about some of the stuff I would cover in my keynote, and he would make jokes with this. So, and he would send me like 4 or 5 pages of jokes, and I would maybe use like 3 or 4 of them. But this is what I really like because they were like really. And don't ask me for one because I mean, like it's in German. And also
I know.
There's one good joke actually. I really love it. It's really in German. So it doesn't really make any sense to say it, but this is what I really like because especially with these kinds of keynotes, when you're really on stage 45 minutes and you're talking about a super technical like topic, right? It is very dry, right? And so I was like with these kind of jokes, it was like really lightening up. And this is what I always liked doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have a good joke to content ratio for your presentations.
Content ratio, nice.
Yes.
I mean, you have the memes, which is also
I have the memes.
right? So you use all those memes, and you at least get a chuckle or grin on the faces.
You wake people up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make things a bit more accessible, more understandable. You don't want to have a full presentation full of memes, right? That's too much. So you got to have a good ratio. Yeah, true.
Susan.
Who dat? Oh, it's me.
Oh,
can I change my name already
again?
In the settings?
Oh, you want really?
Oh no, I can't. Next week, I'll join as Susan.
Wait,
fun.
Does it have any like? It's Susan. You just said Susan, or is it like your mom or anything? It's just a joke, right?
It's just a joke.
Oh, all right.
It's from a really good film though called Snatch, which is about gangsters.
Snatch with Brad Pitt, if I believe.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep. And there is a moment in that where it's like, you can call me Susan if you get this finished. And it just came to my mind in this very moment. Yeah. Anyway.
It's a Brad Pitt movie. What's not to like, right?
It's a great film. Cool. Speaking of great things, Samuel Schmidt and his articles are also great. Look at that transition there. So professional.
We're so professional. Now, and as you said, it's a great article. And it's again, typical Samuel Schmidt. I mean, if you listen to us, you probably know we're big Samuel Schmidt fans. And I was like excited to actually see him talk at SMX Munich.
Yes.
For the first time, and he actually blow everything out of the water. That was a fantastic talk. And he, what he does so well is these gigantic, super holistic posts about certain topics. So you might remember this gigantic article about, I think, Google Search Console, and he was also releasing a own tool through a SERP analyzer. That's even worse than Smith. Through a horrible brand, but whatever. But a great tool. And then he actually blogged about his way from starting a new blog with 0 visitors to whatever how many. And you can take so much stuff away from the stuff that he's sharing. Also, the strategies he's using on LinkedIn to really, push a new article and stuff like this. This is so creative and so good. So you should definitely read. If you haven't heard of him, read the other stuff on his blog. It's pure gold. But this new article, again, super comprehensive about topic clusters, which is kind of funny because he's talking about topic cluster and he's making like this exactly what is talking about what you should do, and he's like doing it in there. And
it's really comprehensive. Yeah, I mean, he's going for what every good SEO needs to do, and that's like create the best resource on a topic.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what he's going for. So yeah, it's a really good. I haven't finished reading it yet. It's definitely like from the bottom up. Like it's a really great introduction. Goes into a lot of detail. It links to its subtopics. It's kind of meta, really, that it is a great article about topic clusters. And Samuel is utilizing topic clusters so well on his website as a good example. I like that. So yeah, very, very nice. Thank you, Samuel.
Somebody is posting a Facebook photo, and I don't want to just promote it because I never heard the name. So maybe Bianca can click really quick to see if it's safe to click on it, because I can't even click on it. I would have to like type it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Funny. The way forward machine.
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, happy birthday, Internet Archive. 25 years of Internet Archive.
Oh, true.
I mean, like, I think almost every SEO is archive.org, and I also use it multiple times throughout the week. It is so super helpful on so many different things. Like, really, look, a new site is ranking. It has been like going from like page 4 to page 1, right? The content has been refreshed. I look at how did it look before, how did it look now, how was the snippet, how is the snippet now, that kind of stuff. This is really what the web archive is just so amazingly great for. Broken link building, like really recreating what has been linked to, what's now gone, that you can recreate. I'm not saying copy and paste, but like recreate on some form of your site. There's so many different use cases for SEO. So we can't thank them enough. And I think they've almost like 600 billion pages in their repository. Wow. So this is just enormous.
We could crawl that.
Such a great tool, also for 25 years. And by the way, Mel was just posting another photo. I'm really, I don't want to click on it.
No, don't click on it.
I don't.
No.
Yeah. And so and for the 25th year anniversary, now they did this search forward in time. It's fun to do once, right? So they show you how a website would look in the future, but what it really is basically just the same website, and you get like pop-up after pop-up after pop-up and stuff like this. So you got to scan your retina and whatever, which, by the way, would be awesome, for just this is like one-on-one eye tracking technology. You could see which user, looked at what on your website and that kind of stuff. I heavily doubt that this will be the case in 25 years. I think it will be more privacy focused.
Yes.
But nevertheless, it's a fun little exercise, and they actually trying to raise awareness for what's going on and how stuff like this could actually also break the internet.
It's a cool campaign. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, and look who's here, Marcus Pensek. Yay! Hey, I'm a little late.
Marcus,
for you offline, and that is awesome. You're here because we got to thank you so much, because Marcus actually sent us a enormous package of candy and beer, even wine from China. So we had this little going on here on 302 talking about it, and for Chinese New Year he was actually wanting to send us stuff, and then actually his awesome wife chimed in, hey, you should send them more stuff. And so we get a big box of stuff.
It was amazing.
I took some away, you took some away, and the rest was,
and we shared it with the office
colleagues, obviously. And the coolest thing was that red wine. I haven't tried it yet, obviously, right? So it's red wine from China, where I thought, never heard of it. Yeah, most restaurants refuse to serve them. Yeah, and then I scanned it on Vivino, and I saw like it has like 2 point something out of 5. If you don't know Vivino, so it's like 2 point something out of 5, and the comments are, this is just awful.
Oh no!
So I thought, this is awesome. I want this wine.
But the beer is really good.
From the Tandler household, that I will, get this out and have like a good laugh about it. So Marcus, thank you so much for that awesome present. I think we got to send him something. Bianca, if he will definitely get a package from us, and also say hi to your lovely wife. It was really cool that we got this big package. So glad you liked it, dude. It was awesome, really cool.
Oh no, it's fine.
I think good. He's not talking about that wine.
Well, maybe it's really delicious. I really like the beer. I've tried it before in England. It's really good. And then I devoured the packet of chili peanuts. They were so tasty.
I saw this and I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm not gonna eat that.
They were spicy, but they're really tasty.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool and thoughtful. Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marcus. That was really cool.
Oh, a really fun story is Nerdwallet filled out an S1 filing, and then specifically, they're so good. They specifically cited Google as a factor that could harm their business operating results and financial condition, because basically Nerdwallet is doing so well in the SERPs, in organic rankings, right, that they're pretty much afraid that if something goes wrong while they're going public and they lose a lot of traffic, that this could be like a huge shock factor to potential investors and during the process, right? And I haven't read the full S1 document, but it feels totally like passing the blame and having a way to create excuses early on, and be a bit like, I told you so, sort of like, I told you so. If something goes wrong with Google, then it's not our fault, basically.
I think this is actually pretty normal. I'm not very well versed in these kind of things and companies going public. But I think you just got to lay everything out on the table. This is what it's all about.
Of course.
If you're public, you really got to do like a striptease, right? And this is what they're doing right there. That there's a big, a big, I wouldn't say chance, but I want to see like what's the other word? There's a potential risk of them losing enormous amounts of traffic if something within Google changes or they get penalized, whatever, right? So there is this risk, and they have to disclose this risk in that filing for their potential investors. And actually, it is quite enormous. I mean, like in the article, they are showing SimilarWeb, and it says like 86% is coming from organic. I actually fired up SEMrush. In SEMrush, it's about 50% organic. But although in SEMrush, actually the number is a little bit higher, so from the total visitors instead, compared to SimilarWeb. But still, if it's 50%, if it's something, this is heavily reliant. I think everything like north of 50+% is heavily risky, plus like it's an SEO project. And this is what I love about this, right? So you have this SEO, and very early on, he saw like really a big opportunity for good financial content, right? So, and he was like, this like you have a couple of things here, a couple of things is there, then you have all of these calculators, and these guys have the calculator here and one for them, but there's no comprehensive resource, or there had been no comprehensive resource, and and they just did it, and they executed so well. And I think we're gonna elaborate on this in a second. They executed this so well, and this is just really how it should be, right? And so I really, while I would never invest in this, right, I absolutely love that stuff like this can actually happen, right? That an SEO project can turn into a multi-million dollar IPO. And we have this great story actually in Germany as well with Idealo, right? So Idealo, the price comparison engine, actually now it has been bought by Axel Springer, so it's like a really legit company, a legit brand. But when they started, when Martin Sinner started, it was an SEO project, right? And at one point, and I try to find it, whether was it 2002, 2003, I really don't remember. But at some point in time, so back then you would look at, for example, Nielsen net ratings for to get like an idea of how many visitors a website might have. Actually, at one point, you could look at Google, and you could also see, where people go from Google. And 5% of German Google users actually went to Idealo. So that means that 5% of Google traffic was actually funneled to Idealo. And like, holy shit! I mean, like, obviously, this feed could never be replicated in these days. Just imagine 5% of just Google Germany users, coming to your site. This is just unthinkable. But even back then, it was an enormous amount of users, which Idealo was able to get out of Google because they were doing so great SEO. And you actually have a lot of great SEOs here in Germany who started with Idealo. You have Philipp Klöckner. By the way, Hannah, Izzi.
Hey, Hannah.
I love sitting in the kitchen. It's so nice.
Yeah.
You have Philipp Klöckner, who's really making waves now, obviously. You have Johannes Beuys from Systrix, right, who also started there. Also, you have so many great SEOs who actually got their start over there. And this is like really, again, also for them, Axel Springer bought them. Now they're a legitimate brand, but they started out as an SEO project. And it's sort of like the same here. So I really love to see these kinds of stories happening.
I was, definitely. I was also interested in this one segment here where they specifically called out Google for and blaming them for a loss of traffic that they experienced in 2017. Now, there was no confirmed core update going on during this time, so it could have been something algorithmic that they were kind of punished for. I mean, they're in the financial sector where it can be a little bit volatile, of course, with things like EAT being such a high necessity. But if you look at the grand traffic growth over time, it is a ridiculous, amazing growth. And we know that they're doing things really well. So they have such great content strategies. They've been used a lot as like in best practices as well for creating guides and targeting long tail keywords and so on. But it was kind of interesting to see this blame being put on Google for this slight dip going on in 2017. So I liked this GIF to go with it.
Although I would really expect them to actually look at the GC data and actually see what's really going on, right? I mean, who knows? Could also be lots of unrelated keywords, like whatever, right? So, but they're doing fine. But let's dive deeper into the techniques, because there's been an amazing article here on the Hearth. And I love this article because actually the Hearth really took apart some of the SEO strategies they have been applying for Nerdwallet. And what I love about this is you really see all these techniques people have been talking about for for 15 years. There's lots of stuff in there. I did very early on in my beginning when I started doing SEO. I did some of the techniques that Nerdwallet is still applying today. And this is what I love. So they're doing all these great SEO initiatives, right, that have been around for a long time, and everybody's talking about, right? But what they did is they did it, right? So they executed, and they executed well, right? And this is, I think, such a great story because you can really show people, hey, what they've been doing is
Yeah.
no magic or anything, right? They also started from scratch and just applying old, crusty, well-known SEO techniques, but they applied them and they just executed so well that it really worked to the fullest, as you can see now, right? And this is what I love about this story, that you can really see this. So let's dive into some of those ideas. Did you?
I didn't screenshot anymore, but I have the article here that I can drag
Awesome.
over.
Awesome. I mean, like, first in the beginning, right? What they do is ego bait. Ego bait always works, right? So they give out awards, right? They have so many awards, general award, best credit card in North Carolina. They even go down into local awards and everything, right? So they even, you have this, you even have this link here from Discover, right? Who even sent out a press release that they won that award from Nerdwallet. I mean, like, obviously you have some sort of authority that such a big site would actually, put out a press release because you gave them an award. But this is exactly how you would get a backlink, a really like powerful backlink from Discover, right? With this technique. And again, this is also something I have used very early on in my career. So I had this web design award. And actually, I mean, I was not the first to do this, right? I mean, like, there were multiple web design awards. You would just apply and you would win because you get the badge that you won and you would put it on your site. And so you get the backlink, right? And actually, when I do it, and when I did this, and I actually also did this kind of stuff, I mean, like, this was really me, like building websites in 1998, with good old HTML 3.2, right? So I was like really happy. Like, I applied for these awards and I got these awards and I all put it on my site, not even understanding, what would happen, right? And then actually, when I got a little bit more versed in SEO, I actually understood the game. And what I did then was, like, I had a very good graphic designer designing me a really nice badge, because some of these badges were like, this was like Microsoft Paint kind of style, right? So it would look absolutely
oh my God.
cool, but people would still put it on their website. They would be like, really horrible awards. They look really horrible, but you have like hundreds of sites putting them on the website. And I mean, like, also, it's back then, right? Back then, people were putting lots of stuff on their website, right? Built with Internet Explorer and counters.
The hit counter.
Nice as well, right?
Yeah.
All these different kinds of widgets. So widget link building was a thing. But I really love this web design award because this also got me hundreds of backlinks with minimal effort. And also, I also applied the strategy to get actually authoritative links when I was working in the job board industry. So I had this blog, and I would also cover like very fluffy cover, like, news from big from the big job boards, and they would actually also link to me, and as I also mentioned in what kind of stuff, and I would get these authoritative backlinks from these job boards linking to my job board blog, because I was just covering their stuff, and they would like include me into their into their press coverage, so to speak. So this is such a great technique, and it works so well. And you really see them using this absolutely to the fullest, having so many awards on so many levels, getting all these links that you would normally never be able to get. Yeah.
Interesting. I think this article is very backlink focused. I thought it was specifically about the content, but it's more about then how their content marketing drove more backlinks, right? So
I mean, like, it's also they also have a lot of what the content marketing wise they're doing, but the hearth is I think there's a backlink service. They sell backlinks and stuff like this.
Okay, so that's why it's a bit focused on the backlink.
I actually have a hearth T-shirt which I got like SES New York 2004 or something like this, because this guy, this logo from them looks so nice. I love that shirt.
It's a really cool logo. Yeah.
So
and here we have like the calculators. Yeah.
This is also what they did absolutely great. They looked what calculators are being searched for: mortgage calculator, home affordable calculator, what kind of stuff. And by the way, if you scroll up, they also did something very smart. There is something, if you move somewhere and they use this data from a specific data source, and this data source, it's like a census data kind of thing.
Okay, like for an infographic type of thing?
No, I show you. They made a calculator out of it. Cost of living calculator. Just search for cost hyphen of living. There is it. So there it is, right? And they use the data from the cost of living index here. And if you scroll down, you can see them who use CU data. Boom, Nerdwallet, right? So you would use that data from them, and they would even link to you. And I mean, like, obviously, this is a very thematically relevant link,
Yeah.
right? For this kind of stuff. So again, like, amazingly well executed. And like all these calculators, just stellar keyword research, like what are people searching for? And you would create all these great calculators and supporting people with their financial decisions, that kind of stuff. And I mean, like, obviously, this gets them also a lot of links, right? They're great link targets, great link magnets, but also they provide like a great result for people searching for that kind of stuff. And especially back then, there might be something here, there might be something there, but nobody who really like embraced the topic and let me, like, just churn out the best calculators for everything within the financial niche. And this is what they've been doing amazing.
I guess they must be so nervous about this. That's probably why they mentioned it in their this document that we just discussed. Because if Google is starting to release mortgage calculators and these kind of things, that's probably going to kill a huge traffic source for them.
Yeah, you're probably right. I was thinking if you thought this could be a thing for them, but what I like about this is all white hat, right? This is all where even John Mueller. That's all. I mean, that's all cool. This is exactly how it should be done, right?
It's all a really cool article, a really good analysis.
And by the way, what do they? I mean, like, obviously, content syndication, they do really, really well. And and they do so much original research. And I think if you remember, we were talking about this one article and this one presentation from Friday SEO, which was also very good, and it dove really well into this, like creating original research, and how many links they got with that kind of stuff. And they also leverage this to the fullest. So they have like this average household debt study they do every year. So they have a lot of studies. They will refresh every year. And obviously this gets picked up by journalists and all that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. Yeah, but this is it. There's a need for this. Journalists really embrace this, really need this kind of data. And they're like, very active, what can we do? What kind of original research can we provide to actually get these great news mentions? They have obviously lots of tools. Talked about the calculators and that kind of stuff. They have lots of guides, right?
Yeah.
The huge hidden cost of owning a home, the bi-weekly mortgage payments, like how to make that stuff happen. They have long guides, how to get a small business loan, long-term care insurance explained, blah, blah, blah. And obviously also leveraging social media. They have the best kind of post, the best list, best balance transfer, best credit cards in the US, top 10 credit card deals.
All of the comparison queries,
blah,
X
blah,
versus
blah.
Y. Yeah.
And this is really, really awesome. Yeah. And also ratings, reviews, and this kind of thing. And also, I think just one last thing is amazing resource hubs as well. And since Black Friday is coming, if you just scroll down real quick to resource hubs and click on this link to the Black Friday sales.
I already closed it.
And this is also stellar because we were just talking about Schmidt, topic clusters, and they really did all the way down Black Friday. There it is. There this was. Just Control F, Black Friday. There it is. Black Friday. No, wait, down. Yeah, here we saw Black Friday sales. And this is what they did there. They did this amazing content hub topic cluster on Black Friday. Click on it, Black Friday sales. Thank you, Susan. Here it is. So the ad leaks, that you already know what might have been sold at different stores. If you scroll down, you have like the pro tips, you have this is exactly how Sam would do it, right? And how we work.
Yeah.
Best of Black Friday, blah blah blah. So there's all this like really big resource and everything related to Black Friday, and this is just really how they're doing SEO. And I love how they're doing SEO because they just give it their all. They really they have the ambition to really be the best results. How can we make this happen, right? And this is what I like. Everything they do has been talked about on so many conference stages, right? But they just did it, and this is it, right? And so it's a great story, a great case study, and you can really say SEO works, even in the financial niche, in something super, super highly competitive, with good old SEO, well executed, it works, apparently. Yeah.
No, a lot of good best practices here. And also, like, if you're building up this content strategy and maybe you don't have the same kind of budget as Nerdwallet has, I think it's also really good to go through and see which things are really achievable for you at the moment. For example, like targeting comparison queries and question queries, right? To create these amazing guides and resources, like going through your existing GSE keyword data, creating these segments, like question keyword segments, taking a look in Google Ads and building up these resources as well, like from the long tail additionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So great recommendation. Read this article. It's awesome. Yeah. And don't forget, ego bait always works. It also works for us. If you talk well about 302 of a kind, right, we also got to push your stuff wherever, right? And this is what's great about ego bait, because somebody talks nicely about you, says something nice about you. You want other people to know, other people to read it, to see it, how other people are talk well about you. So, just talk well about people, and it's always works. Stroking the ego works amazingly well. So it's one of the best SEO techniques.
It was like one of my first jobs at SIX was to create this top 10 travel bloggers guide, and then like reach out to them like, hey, we featured you. And then they're like, oh, look, everyone, I was listed by SIX as a travel blogger, and then get a nice backlink. Yeah,
and
it works.
Evil.
That's the only time I did link building.
Evil plan laugh. Yeah, I love it.
Cool. Rishi's SEO tips. Tell me more, Marcus.
Yeah, I mean, you probably know Rishi. He's like a great SEO from the UK. Great guy. Has been, on the black hat, white hat, like walking the line very well for many years. So he's a great guy, and actually started a new newsletter. And I signed up just seeing his first newsletter. So you should also sign up. It's really cool.
Yes, I will.
This is really something which I did not see, because he was actually focusing on the Amazon short as a URL shortener. And which is nice because it's a 302. And what's nice about 302, you actually have the origin URL showing up in the SERPs. That's perfect, so you can really do some affiliate marketing with this. And this is actually something I've done back in the days. Also very nice that there was this very big online shop in Germany, and they actually had an affiliate program running themselves with the 302 redirect in place. And this is so nice because you could actually outrank them, because it was actually, it was on the route, so to speak. So you could basically convince Google to not rank this URL, but instead your URL with your affiliate link, and it was still the same domain, right? Which is awesome. And so I actually managed back then to rank for one of the most competitive keywords they were ranking for. Actually, for a couple of days, I was able to switch that around to my affiliate code. Holy shit, right? So this worked really, really well. And this still works. And in this case, it's Amazon. And just look, I mean, Rishi is also sharing the enormous visibility uplift actually this URL shortener has. So in SEMrush, you can actually see the curve is really going up. So these things are ranking. So when I saw this yesterday, I was all over it. I went to SEMrush, filtering down to Germany, what kind of German products is ranking for, and kind of stuff. I was really yeah, I just like, oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even see that URL shortener because, as you might know, I'm not a big Amazon fan. I never buy anything off Amazon. Support your local dealer, and so it really like I just didn't notice it. And when I saw this in his newsletter, I was like all over it. I'm like, oh my god, it's Amazon has what? I love it, right? So yeah, I'll definitely play around with that. Also, this is for sure. As I'm definitely at least look what's going on in Germany with this kind of stuff. Maybe also some foreign markets where this might work well. I don't know, but really, I really love the article from the Haas, this article, because it's really like it really gets you like tingly and you want to do something again. So this is what I like. It's like some sort of a post, like really, gets you like diving deeper into certain topics. So thanks, Rochelle, and you should really sign up for his newsletter. If every single edition is like this, it was such a major cool tip. It's definitely worth subscribing to it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the idea of having like a really sort of precise tip or recommendation, or even just like a cool case study as well.
Oh, and by the way, from Amazon, there was something like this before, like very earlier, the A stores. So Amazon was actually giving you an A store subdomain. So A store, amazon.de/Kaffeevollautomat, so a coffee maker, whatever. So and the awesome thing is that you got these A stores and they were automatically pre-filled with products. So you didn't even have to build something. You were just registering that domain or a keyword on that subdomain. And I was all over it. I got lots of those. And it was so easy getting those to rank, right? And this is the same trick that applies here, because with that kind of, with a site like Amazon, you can shoot like horrible links at it all day and you won't break it, right? And like in most cases, this might even work. Probably does, right? And this is what I love about this, and this is what we did back then also with these A stores. You would just fire and forget, just like totally throw everything at it, and this would just rank, and you wouldn't have to do anything, right? You would just get the commission. So I love this. I mean, it didn't work for a very long time, but at least it worked for a little bit, and now it's back. So this is why I'm so excited about this, because again, like working with a domain like Amazon is like stealing candy from a kid.
True.
Don't steal candy from kids, by the way.
Cool. All right. So Brody has been spotting more exciting SERP features. This one, where when you hover over an image, a video thumbnail in the search results on desktop, then it's going to increase and give you like a little preview clip as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I mean, like if you're competing in SERPs where you have like multiple YouTube videos above, which are probably there because people are actually looking for a YouTube result, and now they're even like getting blown up like this. So you shouldn't expect any more traffic beneath those, especially with something like this in place. But from a user perspective, I really like it. I mean, like this user experience, I guess.
I wonder if you can also somehow optimize for these, if you can see like which kind of time frame Google is taking the moment from, and maybe make sure that it's not just too irrelevant or stupid, like for this 10 seconds, it's a shot to your floor or something.
This is interesting. Also, I would have thought that you could define this anyway, like with the what should be like
the key moments,
like this. And this is actually an interesting question.
Yeah, maybe. I haven't investigated. It's just a test at the moment, but let's see.
That's also very interesting, because you could also do like sort of even a commercial kind of thing. Like really pointing, you should watch this or whatever, right? I think it would be a little bit more pushy on actually click through. Interesting. Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm. Also, while we're on the topic, always worth mentioning Brody's SERP feature notes, where he's updating all of the tests that he comes across. So it's really cool if you're a SERP warrior like we are, always looking for interesting tests. I mean, we have to sort of simulate the US results because we're living in Germany. We can't detect these too much on our normal usage of Google, but I think it's very interesting, especially if you want to see if the thing that you discovered is not new or not. And then you can report it to Barry and Brody. For example, some other tests coming out as well this week was some search refinements in autocomplete, where it looks like Google is displaying some related refinement, like query refinements, based on the keyword that you're looking for. So here it's like Tony Bennett's wife. Is it the old one, the first one, the current one? Is it a photo that you want to see? So like most common refinements to help you really nail this query and just to make sure that Google is giving you the most precise information back.
Yeah, again, this is like, I mean, like as we always say, the best result can also be the same result, just one step earlier, just faster, right? And this is exactly
Nice.
what's on here, right?
That's nice. Yeah.
Reducing the time to search completion.
Now, a little bit on web performance is a really cool article by Adi Osmani. I love all of his articles. He is a web developer with Chrome. He creates a lot of great resources you've probably read already around Web Vitals and other kinds of performance optimizations. This one is really getting to the bottom of modern image formats, so WebP and AVIF. I don't know how to pronounce it like a cool kid would, but it's a great comparison as well to see at which moment you should try and use which one. Bless you, Gesundheit. And also just a really good reminder of why image optimization is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. This is so awesome. These guys, all these
Yeah.
images, and you can actually choose, you know, which compression type, and you can actually see, oh my God, it looks the same, but it's
And
just
smoosh.
like a tenth
Yeah.
of the kilobytes. So this is really cool. Yeah, it's a great resource to actually send
Squish.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was playing around with a red panda photo because I love red pandas. They're my favorite animals. And it's a great way to also show where you can trade quality for performance, especially if you're working with maybe designers who are worried that you're going to like reduce the actual quality of this hero image on a page. And you have to say, no, if we just compress it and convert it to this image format, it's still going to have this high quality, but the file size is going to be so much smaller that everyone's going to be happy. So you can give a really, really obvious way of showing that.
Yeah, great tool tip.
Yeah.
Here with Squoosh, if you want to optimize your images. I also like Cloudinary. I mean, like you obviously everybody knows
True.
page test, right? I really like Cloudinary because you can. This is so great. I use this so often because it would actually show you the images and how much they could actually be compressed and that kind of stuff. It's such a great resource, and you can really send this to people and say like, hey, you know, this is what you could do.
Yeah, definitely. And I was also just coming across this article by Paul Calvano, also a nice website where he shows you how long it took to load the page, because he's a performance architect, and he did a study of using HTTP archive data to find the LCP, the largest contentful paint culprit in the most across the highest frequency of pages. And it's kind of obvious, but it ended up being the image element followed by the div. I just think it's really good to have the statistic to say, okay, like 42% of the time, the largest contentful paint is caused by an image. Another strong reason why image optimization is so crucial. One of the many, 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 many. Yeah. So really cool study there. Speaking of Chrome development, there was a nice roundup article on some nice hidden features that every developer should know, little hacks and tricks. I didn't put any screenshots in the actual slideshow, but I could maybe pull up the article to take a look at a few.
There's so many great tips in there. I actually activated a couple of those. And one I would really like to highlight, and you should also do this. I actually also told it to Alex. He also activated it. So you can go to in the developer tools. You can actually go to settings, and then you can activate lab stuff, which is still in beta, so to speak. And the one is CSS. Like a CSS overview. Do you have the article? Because it's really, really cool.
It just broke, actually.
Using this like every day now.
Oh, now it's working. I got a 500 error.
Ooh.
It's coming. It's appearing. Yeah. It's back now. It's back.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yes, CSS overview. So scroll in. This is actually what you get, right? And this is so cool. I just do it with Write or something. It's amazing, right? Should really do this. Actually, down below it says how you can activate it. Here it is, right? Click on the Experiments tab, enable the CSS overview, then you close it down, fire it up again, and you can. And now you have this available. And this is really, really, really cool. As I'm going to be using this a lot.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah,
it's actually bad here. Just with the right domain, and this is it's really cool. And this is also cool, the new font editor. You can basically flip font styles like instantly. So you could basically go in there and now say, okay, now show me like all the content in Arial or Times New Roman or whatever on the fly, right? Like, as you can see here. So this is more like for like real web developers, like who want to look real quickly without going to the code, how it would look like, right? So that's
so cool.
A great feature, yeah.
If you don't want to go the long way around and test to see if this font update is like, cutting certain content elements off onto a new line because sometimes they're wider. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Dual screen mode,
obviously for these foldable phones. I mean, like this
is quite niche.
Yeah, a little bit. But it's all experiments, right? Full accessibility preview, also very nice. Yeah, it's great.
Well,
I was like, really, holy shit, awesome article. This is really something I did not know. And now I'm going to be using this every day. So, everybody should check this out.
One thing I really like in Chrome DevTools is this document design mode. And then you're like, okay, on. And then when it's on, you can edit everything on the page really quickly.
You do this and then screenshots.
I do this all the time.
Congratulates Izzi Smith to being the best SEO expert in the world.
Exactly. But it's really cool if you do like want to quickly test some text, or you want to like send something to the designers and like, okay, I want to update this page. It could look like this. I mean, you can do much more than changing the text to say Izzi Smith is awesome, of course, but it's kind of a nice little trick.
I will be sending around like screenshots from search engine land. Marcus Tandler considered best SEO in the world. I don't know why they say that. It's just you gotta live with that, right? Just a screenshot.
It's really good if you want to show that you want a featured snippet. And you can just change the text out for yours and the domain.
That's good.
Sneaky. Yes. And I also put that here on the right homepage.
You can also do this in Google search, right? I mean,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, that makes screenshotting so much easier.
It does.
That's a good tip.
You know what I do a lot is I delete the ads from a SERP when I take a screenshot, especially for featured snippets, because you want to have the clean search result, keyword, and then the featured snippet. Nice. Anyway.
By the way, copy.
Sorry?
Izzi's the best. Test that.
It's a great copy. This is the homepage now.
But Susan, who's Izzi? I don't get it.
A wonderful person.
Wonderful person.
Hilarious. Okay. where do SEO professionals spend their time and budget? Is there another survey by Search Engine Journal, or was it the same survey as before? They've just announced the results now. Do you know? Either way, let's
I
take
don't
a
know.
look at the results.
Yeah.
So SEOs allocate their budgets mainly for content marketing. Makes sense because it's pretty expensive, is good content, or it can be.
What's none, little, moderate, most, all?
Oh, it's kind of like one of these distribution charts where you can see, okay, the most SEOs actually confirmed this digital marketing area.
Okay.
Oh
okay.
no, most of the budget. Sorry, I wasn't reading the chart
Most
correctly.
of the budget. Okay.
I think we need someone from data science to come help us out here.
I don't understand it.
I've had too much cider.
I'm not smart enough to understand this table.
Basically, most SEOs allocate most budget for content marketing.
But what's SEO?
What is SEO?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm sorry for sending you this. I didn't even read it. I don't understand it, obviously. So.
It's digital marketing. It's not just SEO. It's like what budgets are taken for digital marketing all over. See, there's like email marketing down there, social media. Social media's got a high budget there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then for where they allocate their time most, a lot is spent on keyword research and on-page optimizations.
And I like to see link building all on the bottom.
I always like to see link building at the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Audience
okay, but
I don't understand. I don't know.
We're going to take a look at the study again and try and understand. We're going to involve our data science team. And when we have some insights, we will let you all know. Thank you, Search Engine Journal, though. We really enjoyed the previous study, the one about, what are most SEOs working on in the next years? What are they strategizing? What are they planning? This one, we need a little bit of time to understand, apparently.
I was like, I saw that I like skimmed it, and it's like, oh, that looks interesting. We could talk about this in the show. And I was like, I don't get it. But whatever. This might just be me. I don't know. I'm not as smart as I look. It's what everybody's saying, even my wife.
Let's move on to a search pilot study, which we always enjoy. We have one every week, don't we? At least we have one in almost every show. This one is, we do, yeah. This one is a really cool study about adding book now to the very beginning of titles. So it's for an airline. And at the beginning, it says, book now, flights from London to Dubai in the variant and the control version when nothing changed. It's just cheap flights from London to Dubai.
But
sorry.
But they replace cheap. I mean, like a book now, I would also say, I don't know if this is really going to be a positive thing. But they also replaced cheap flights.
They did.
Yeah, because book now, cheap flights from London to Dubai. I think that's better than book now flights from London to Dubai. I think cheap is a very important trigger keyword for getting clicks in these kind of SERPs. So
I think so. Yeah. I'm not an SEO A/B testing expert, but in my opinion, or at least I thought that you should only change one thing at a time. Mm-hmm. And this seems a bit like they've changed two things because they've added the book now, but they've removed the cheap keyword as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
So maybe that could have been a factor in the results, which were, of course, negative. So they had an estimated impact of minus 6% on organic traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't click on that either.
They also claimed that with having book now, the call to action directly in the title, it could put some people off who just want to browse. Mm-hmm. Like they're not ready to commit yet to the specific airline. which could also make sense of why it was a negative effect.
That's also a good point, right? Because it feels like, oh, you're already like in the process, and I don't want to be in the process. I just want to browse.
Yeah. But interesting. Thank you so much, Search Pilot, again. And the sort of biggest news piece for us SEOs this week was that we now have continuous scrolling on mobile devices on search. So there's no more pagination on mobile results.
Exciting.
What does this mean, Marcus? Did they do this on purpose? Do you think that people were actually interacting with going to page 2 and beyond, and that now that they've resolved that by adding in continuous scrolling, are they trying to level the playing field? There's so many questions I have.
Really, this was like really something that I cared the least about of all the news that I released this week, because I think this is really this UX feature that you don't have to click on page 2 anymore, especially on mobile, obviously.
But did you?
Fuzzy. Oh, I mean, like, of course. I mean, like, for information queries, I would occasionally also go to page 2. And this is just, if you're at the end of the site, I know what you're going to do, right? You want to click on number 2, and I'm just giving this to you right away. So this is just not UX improvement. But I mean, like, the only thing I really got to mention here is, I think, Aleda, again, this is what I love about Aleda. Like she went really fast and adapted it in her spreadsheet. So he has this Excel spreadsheet. You can actually compare now the click-through rate change from before to now with continuous scrolling. Something we actually are going to make our data science team aware of too, so we can actually maybe find some valuable data for the SEO community here. But again, I love how Aleda jumped on it right away again, and already, it's not like an antidote to what's happening, but like immediately you can investigate if this actually had an impact on your search performance, on the CTR, and that kind of stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't expect that it's like very big, because I mean, like the good stuff is still going on early on in the SERPs, and
of course,
I'm gonna have a big change there.
Let's see.
What do you think about it? Were you like, oh my god, this is a big game changer? Not really, right?
I didn't think it was a game changer. I thought it was an important milestone for an SEO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I am eager to see how this will reflect on, for example, click-through rate data on mobile devices. Like, will we see an uplift for our page 2 queries? Like, I'm eager to see. I'm going to keep an eye on the data. I will.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, we went over time, but we're finished. There was a lot to chat about. That was really fun.
Awesome. Thanks so much for making the presentation. Awesome. Great stuff.
Sure, my pleasure.
And thanks to every one of you who's sticking around here for almost 75 minutes with us. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Leah. Very early in Minnesota. So east of Minnesota. It's on a game changer. It would be cool to watch the data, that's for sure. We got Christopher. Interesting. Thanks. Thank you for watching, Christopher.
Thank you.
A pleasure. And everyone, thank you so much for tuning in again. I think next week is normal, right? So we're back next week. Awesome stuff. We're finally getting back into the normal stuff, and we going to be more professional. We're going to plan ahead what we're doing. No, we don't.
That doesn't sound like us. That's Susan and someone else.
At least I have the will that I will very quickly again. But so nevertheless, I hope we see some of you guys again next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. And now we would like to temporarily redirect you from work to
the weekend.
That's us. I'm already empty, but
cheers everyone. Pros.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Keep on waving.